Everyone.
Oh, Gitanjali is here.
नमस्कार दालमिया जी.
नमस्कार जी.
नमस्कार सर. नमस्कार.
Hello sir, how are you? Hello Shailesh sir, hello Yadav sir, how are you?
नमस्कार सब लोगों को.
शैलेश जी नमस्कार. डॉक्टर वर्मा नमस्कार. ज्योत्सना जी नमस्कार.
नमस्कार सबको.
सबको नमस्कार. डॉक्टर गीतांजलि, डालमिया जी, ज्योत्सना जी, सब लोगों को बहुत बहुत नमस्कार.
We'll start in 2 minutes.
Okay. So you reached finally on time.
हाँ जी.
Really fond of this place. Many times I just want to be here. That's it.
Well, that's good. If people like to be there, then obviously you'll do good work.
Yes. It's my pleasure and also an honor to be here.
Okay.
और डॉक्टर गीतांजलि वो पीपीटी शेयर करने के लिए आप वो पैनलिस्ट ऑफर शेयर का करेंगी?
Sir, I think you are already a panelist. That's why you are here.
Okay.
Yeah,
उसमें लिंक हम शेयर कर सकते हैं.
You can share directly.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
यादव सर, आपको आवाज आ रही है? Hello.
Yeah, we could hear you, Updesh.
Okay sir, okay. Thank you.
Hello.
Alpine is also there.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
हेलो काल्पन जी.
Good afternoon.
दालमिया जी नमस्कार. कैसे हैं आप?
अच्छा, आप कैसे हैं?
बहुत बढ़िया. आपको पहली बार देखने को मिले और आज पहली बार शायद सुनने को भी मिलेगा मुझे. I look forward to it.
Thank you so much.
I think we'll start. It's 3:30.
Yeah.
So good afternoon, everyone, and very warm welcome.
We'll take care.
On behalf of IIT Delhi Alumni Association, I extend a very warm welcome to everyone to this webinar on powering Atmanirbhar Bharat, startups and innovation. And we are very pleased to have with us very, very distinguished panelists in form of Shri Dalmia ji. We have Professor Shailesh Tiwari ji, and we have with us our another very senior alumni, Yadav Chandana ji. So we look forward to a very, very engaging and enriching webinar on this theme, powering Atmanirbhar Bharat through startups and innovation. So once again, very warm welcome everyone who is with us. And now I would like to request our secretary, Jyotsna Chugbareja, to present the welcome note. Jyotsna ji is the secretary of IIT Delhi Alumni Association, also the convener of the Startup and Entrepreneurship. And she has her master's, her MTech and MSc from IIT Delhi, 84 batch. And she's worked with corporate giants TCS, Wipro, GE. And for past few years, she has been a dynamic mentor to upcoming startups. So Jyotsna ji, I welcome you and please present the welcome address.
Okay, thank you, Gitanjali. I welcome you all over here for this webinar on powering Atmanirbhar Bharat through startups and innovation. I would say this is the year of being Atmanirbhar, rather self-reliant through our innovation work and through startups. And this week, anyway, we are doing entirely startup work only. From last 2 days, we have been just taking presentations from startups done by IIT alumni only. And tomorrow that's going to be finale also. So this webinar has come in between. That's a good thing. Now I would welcome Shailesh Tiwari ji, who is founder, president, Hriday Society of HRD. and Mr. Raghu Hari Dalmia, who is BTech in Mechanical Engineering from 72 batch, Mr. Chandan Yadavji, who is Chairman of Sai Products and Graphic Private Limited. I welcome you all for this webinar, and let's hear your viewpoints on how we can become Atmanirbhar through innovations and startups and some other technology things. So I would like to invite Shailesh Tiwari ji to start with his talk.
Thank you so much, Jyotsna ji, for the welcome address. And with these words, I would like to invite Professor Shailesh Tiwari ji. He is Honorary Dean International Relations at the Libertad University, Croatia. He's President, Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina Business Forum. He's Director, International Relations, Business Intelligence Society, Japan. And he is a leadership and management professional with specialization in human resources development with more than 30 years of global experience in the dynamics of employment. His previous corporate role has been as HR Director, South Asia with G4S, with business responsibility of 185,000 employees, 17 national unions and 2 international unions. He is a graduate in commerce, postgraduate specialization in HRM from Hong Kong, postgraduate diploma in public administration, and certified trainer in aviation management by ITA Singapore, and various training and development courses in leadership and management. A very, very seasoned professional. And once we were talking, he told me, given the appointment letters to more than 15 lakh employees. So warm welcome, Shailesh ji, to today's webinar. And sir, we would like to request you to start with your expert address. Shailesh.
Dr. Gitanjali, thank you very much for the kind introduction. I remain a student and I want to learn more. I will share my thoughts. Dr. Jyotsna, Dalmia ji, Shukla Sahab, Yadav ji, Chanda ji, everybody, distinguished panelists and guests, Mr. Bansal, I convey my compliments, my namaste, and warm welcome on this session. I will share the session. Dr. Gitanjali, housekeeping point. This is not my screen is saying that it is disabled. So I don't know, share screen is being disabled. It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
One second. Just
Ask Satish to make him co-host.
Yeah. Now you're the co-host. You can share.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jyotsna ji. Thank you, Gitanjali ji. Can we put it on, please, now? Thank you so much. It is powering Atmanirbhar Bharat through startups and innovations. My thought on this is based on concept, application, and process, which Hriday does. We customize solutions. And we work on what is the concept, what is the application, what is the process. And I will go into this in a similar manner. The concept of Atmanirbhar Bharat is there for everybody. It is making India self-reliant. I do not want to go into theory. Time given to me is 15 minutes, and Dr. Gitanjali, please make me aware when 12th minute is over, so that I can conclude in the 3 minutes. I don't want to break discipline on this. But Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, is a term used by the Prime Minister of India. And another aspect which is there that we need to work on the concept of pursuing policies that are efficient, competitive, and resilient. Efficient, competitive, and resilient. And that is to make it self-sustaining and self-generating. There are numerous startups and innovators in play, but we come to where the startups will have to work on the opportunities in adversities, innovate in limited timing, and make a competitive product. Recently, I heard one of the ministers, I think it was Mr. Goel, if I'm not mistaken, he said the power of ideas and resilience is there to strengthen together. You need to ideate, you need to innovate, you need to move forward on this. And to build a nation which is not just job seekers, but job creators. We should become job creators. Taking this concept in mind, I'm moving forward to the application. We have come across, survived, whosoever, all of us, through this stage of COVID, which has impacted everybody, every walk of life. We have survived this, and now we have to move ahead in time, money, and energy to be focused in what we need tomorrow and today and tomorrow. It is like rapidly moving over the other as fast as possible. India first, we have a great and visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji and the positive energies of 1.3 billion people. We have survived the COVID and we have developed the vaccine, which is an Indian vaccine, and that we need to be very proud of. And there is no hesitation on that for me to say that, yes, I'm looking forward to getting injected on that, vaccinated, whatever it means in terms of medical science, but it is good. It is a good thing to do. Go ahead. We are still amidst the challenge of impetus on human efforts on all fronts, and all stakeholders need to integrate. And here I come to the aspect where we say development, Vikas must deliver a better life. When we say Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, we are looking at development which must give better life. Innovations must give better life. Any startups must be aimed for that. Education gives knowledge, capability. The application of education should make us Sakshar, Saksham, and Samarthivan. I'm moving into HRD. HRD is my subject, and thus I'm presenting this in the human resources, which is one of the biggest strengths we have across the world. And thus, way forward, I feel that innovative education, innovative learning should make it that the youth of the country should be earning at the 18 years of age. Not that graduation happens at 21 of years of age. Graduation education, new policy has come, but I prefer that 18 years education should be in play in terms of earning. The education in terms of implementation, innovation should be so made reverse engineering that if I am able to vote for the government, which is going to be the government of India or to be in power, then I should be able to earn my money on that basis. Thus, all competitive exams should be based on this alignment. Ministry of HRD needs to focus on employability model for education and capability building. And the formula to win, and this is in the International Bar Association, recently we had this session. This is made by the world's best minds together, and they say that we focus, and I've taken permission to share this slide, we focus on futures where we work together to ensure thrive now in the people front and then go forward in the future. The race to reskill, transform the workforce in the mind of innovation, in the mind of sustenance, in the mind of resilience, to reskill people, have that patience, have that knowledge, have that experience in a super fast technology speed that we are working in. Sense with science we must have and energize the experience, inspire. The world is facing a reskilling emergency today. More than 1 billion jobs, 1/3 of all jobs worldwide are likely to be transformed by technology in the next decade. And thus the next decade has started. And thus, importantly, the competency model comes in front, knowledge, skill, attributes, and the job. And the competency model I put across because in the country, we need to have an integrated approach to HRD. Only thing we have is 1.3 billion people. And we are not looking at the integrated approach to HRD. We have policies in everything. But where is the policy in HRD integrated approach? What is the national strategy? What is the productivity we are looking at? And what is the output we are looking at? For example, if we have to make 1 kilometer road, then what is the people's strength required? What is the technology, time, money, energy required? And what is the output? So if we have millions of people involved in clearing canals, rivers, roads, sewage systems, and things like this, so there has to be a business strategy to deliver this. Otherwise, if you're driving in Delhi, the roads are bad. You're driving in Lucknow, the roads are bad. So when we look at innovation and when we look at technology and we look at sustainability, we must look at how do we measure these basic, very basic needs of the people. We are talking on big side power, we are talking on big side nuclear, we're talking landing on the moon, but we must start innovating on these aspects where the business strategy goes into business results. National business strategy, GDP, goes into national business results. I propose that the Ministry of HRD should be empowered, should be amalgamated as a central cabinet ministry, and in women and child development, social justice, literacy education, skill training, youth affairs, employment, labor industrial, everything should become a part of the HRD ministry. And HRD ministry should say, what is HRD ministry doing with 1.3 billion people? As was the position, role required to make company go into revenue model, go into success model. And we here know finance ministry, perhaps defense ministry, but nobody knows what HRD ministry is actually doing. Ask a rickshaw wala, he'll say, हाँ, budget was presented, budget में साफ finance ministry लगती है आजकल. But you don't talk about HRD ministry. HRD is the only thing we have in the country, and I re-stress that. Thus, if these things get together, and for these ministries, all these ministries, there's Ministry of State, and then we move the restructuring, reorganization. Honorable Prime Minister said that Babus cannot be, we cannot depend on the country for Babus doing everything else, and we must put our credentials on the matter of fact. I say yes, truly, since all policies, everything is governed and looked after by the Babus, then if the head thinks right, if the body thinks right, and we have the cabinet minister, union minister, Ministry of Home Affairs, Finance, Ministry of Human Resource Development, Ministry of Defense, and in that order, Ministry of External Affairs, then we have a compact body line to face the future and look into how much we can see in research and development, how much we can build futuristically. It is not a cut and paste solution. This is a solution of different religions, different cultures, caste, creed, education, everything. The Human Resource Ministry has to put his head together, or her head together on that, and put the whole country together in people. And that is the biggest innovation formula I am providing on the policy level to the government of India and through you people. And I'm open to any discussions on that, because the mind, and this is coming to the last few slides, deliverables to delivery it should be. What are my deliverables to delivery? In the army, we are taught, I was captain in the army, worked on special missions, perhaps the youngest company commander in the country. What we were trained that we should be having the capability to kill our enemy. Now, the deliverables were very clear, and to defend our country. The deliverables are very clear, and we, if required, will put our life at stake. The deliverables are committed. Now that commitment only came when I was trained. I was processed as a human being. I was different before I was in the army. I was different before I was in the army. And I was a different person when I came out, because academy में बोला गया था कि आपको चलना नहीं आता है. And 3 months we were running because we could not walk as per the standards of the military. In crunch, we have to become Daksh, capability and competency. The Kal Pathan has to be correct. The Man, Karma and Vachan has to be correct. And that is another policy in innovation that we need to develop in education, in HRD. Technology will come, technology is there, technology will change. But people's mind, people's approach, people's heart, people's thinking, because the change has to be committed change. And for the country, I think we have fantastic people across. We have learned people, academicians, brilliant scientists, fantastic leader taking country ahead on given focus guidelines. And I think we need to review, refresh, and redirect in all areas. And that is also a sustenance model, a reliability model. Dr. Gitanjali, I've been able to cover, I am sure it is almost 13 minutes there. I have rushed into this. I can spend days discussing this, or such honored people, Mr. Dalmia, Shukla ji, and Upen ji, then Channa ji. I can sit down, Jyotsna madam, I can sit down, discuss for days, months, and put in a policy that we can work on this, because it is not a quick-based solution. Yeah, pataka bana liya. And I think that is a difference in fact. And I feel that we must look into these matters. And this is the innovative aspect which I have provided to make Bharat Atmanirbhar. Thank you so very much. Open to question and answers.
Thank you so much, Shailesh. Wonderful, wonderful thoughts. And I'm sure there will be some questions, but we'll take them once we have heard the other panel.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now I would like to welcome our next panelist, Shri Raghuhari Dalmia ji. Dalmia ji received a Bachelor of Technology degree in Mechanical Engineering in the year 1972 from IIT Delhi. He hails from one of the most prominent business families of the country and led a number of companies with diversified interests, including cement, industrial ceramics, and mechanical engineering. He has held leadership positions in various Indian business associations and is a trustee of various trusts in Chirawa region of Rajasthan. These trusts promote education, water conservation, and village development activities. Jai Krishan Jayadayal Dalmia Seva Sansthan, which was established in the year 2004 at Chirawa, Junjunu district of Rajasthan, is one of these trusts. The trust is currently working with 80,000 people across 55 villages with a vision to bring Khushhali with equity, harmony, and prosperity in the region. The areas of interventions include drinking water, agriculture, livestock, health, education, sustainable use of natural resources, women empowerment, youth development, and addressing various social issues. Since water is a scarce resource in the region, it has been an area of major intervention. Water conservation and promotion of total sanitation has been successfully achieved in 55 villages and has been acclaimed nationally by awards at different levels by different organizations. He is also involved in schools run by the family in various parts of the country. And the schools endeavor to uplift the quality of education available to the children from towns and villages. He takes interactive sessions with students in various parts of the country on a basic theme of building our nation great through character building, through justice, self-righteousness, and right attitudes. He conducts programs with teachers to help them teach the theme to students. Nyay aur Swadharm se Rashtra is the basic theme of these programs. Mr. Dalmia received the award for outstanding contribution to national development by IIT Delhi Alumni Association in the year 2017 and Bhumi Putra Award by A1 TV Rajasthan in the year 2018. And IIT Delhi also recognized his outstanding contributions to the field of public service and policy and felicitated him with the Distinguished Alumni Awardee in the year 2018. Dalmia ji, once again, a very warm welcome from your own institute and association. We are very pleased that you have joined us today. And with these words, warm welcome, sir. Please request you to address everyone.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद डॉक्टर गीतांजलि। डॉक्टर गीतांजलि, ज्योत्सना जी, शैलेश जी, चांदना जी, काल्पन जी, डॉक्टर उपदेश, राकेश जी, आपको आज की राम राम। मैं हिंदी में बोलूँगा, आशा है कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी हिंदी में।
सर प्लीज आप उसी में बोलिए सर।
आत्मनिर्भर भारत की जब हम बात करते हैं तो हम एक तरफ तो बात करते हैं कि हमारा पूरा देश आत्मनिर्भर बने, हम इंपोर्ट नहीं करें या हमारे एक्सपोर्ट्स इतने अच्छे हों कि हम बहुत अच्छे से इंपोर्ट कर सकते हैं, हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज बहुत अच्छे से बड़ी हों, हमारे पास नई नई टेक्नोलॉजीज आएँ और हम उन सब चीज़ों में सक्षम हो जाएं। हम लोग बाहर जाके दूसरों के लिए टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप करते हैं, हम अपने लिए खुद के लिए टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप करें। दूसरा जो एस्पेक्ट है आत्मनिर्भर का, वो है हमारा देश का आम आदमी। क्या हमारा देश का आम आदमी आत्मनिर्भर बन सकता है? तो कैसे बन सकता है? हम बात करते हैं आत्मनिर्भर किसान की। आज हमारा किसान आत्मनिर्भर नहीं है, ये सबको सच्चाई मालूम है। आत्मनिर्भर आम आदमी, हमारे देश का जो आम आदमी है वो भी आत्मनिर्भर नहीं है। अपनी खुशी से कुछ करना चाहे तो वो नहीं कर सकता है। आत्मनिर्भर एजुकेशन, क्या हमारी एजुकेशन आत्मनिर्भर है? हम लोग अभी भी डिपेंड करते हैं कि हमारे इंजीनियर्स या जो डॉक्टर बनने वाले हैं वो यहाँ पे ग्रेजुएशन करने के बाद बाहर जाके अपने आगे की पढ़ाई करते हैं। आत्मनिर्भर हेल्थ, जो लोग अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं वो यहाँ पे अपनी हेल्थ को ठीक नहीं करवाना चाहते हैं, वो अमेरिका जाना चाहते हैं या इंग्लैंड जाना चाहते हैं, वहाँ के हेल्थ सिस्टम को बेटर समझते हैं, शायद होगा भी। वो हम आत्मनिर्भर हम कैसे बन सकते हैं? आत्मनिर्भर विमेन, हमारी देश की औरतें जो पढ़ लिख जाती हैं, खुद काम करने लग जाती हैं, वो तो आत्मनिर्भर बन जाती हैं। लेकिन क्या हमारी बाकी जो हमारी औरतें हैं, जो मिडिल क्लास की औरतें हैं, जो गांव की औरतें हैं, जो गरीब औरतें हैं, क्या वो आत्मनिर्भर बन सकती हैं? आत्मनिर्भर हमारा गरीब आदमी, आत्मनिर्भर हमारी पारदर्शिता, क्या हम हर चीज को अच्छे से एनालाइज कर सकते हैं? आत्मनिर्भर अधिकार, क्या हमारे जो अधिकार हैं, जो हमारे फंडामेंटल राइट्स कह लीजिए या जो भी अधिकार हमको कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में दे रखे हैं, क्या वो हमको रियली अवेलेबल हैं? तो मैं अभी जो छोटी सी बात करूंगा वो मैं ऐसे आत्मनिर्भर की बात करूंगा जो जमीनी लोगों से जुड़ी हुई हो, जमीनी लोगों से जुड़ी हुई हो। हम लोग छोटी छोटी चीजों को हम कैसे टेक्नोलॉजिकली डेवलप कर सकते हैं और उसको पूरे भारत को कैसे हम उसका फायदा दिला सकते हैं। आज ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग की बहुत बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंस सबके माइंड में है। सब लोग जानते हैं कि खेतों के अंदर इतना केमिकल यूज होता है जो हमारी हेल्थ के लिए अच्छा नहीं है, लेकिन अभी भी हम किसानों को कन्विंस नहीं कर पाए हैं कि आप ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग करो, क्योंकि उनके मन में एक डर बैठा हुआ है। ये एक टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी इंपॉर्टेंट है कि कोई भी व्यक्ति अगर इसको एक स्टार्टअप के रूप में लेना चाहे कि मैं एक छोटा सा फार्म करूंगा, ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग करूंगा और फिर उसके हिसाब से दूसरे लोगों को बताऊंगा कि कैसे हम ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग कर सकते हैं। दूसरा हो गया,
दलमिया जी आप म्यूट पे चले गए,
कैसे पता नहीं कैसे चला गया, हो गया। दूसरा है हमारा बायो एंजाइम्स। आजकल ये नई चीज मेरे दिमाग में आई है, पता नहीं और कितने लोगों के पहले भी आई होगी। मेरे एक मित्र हैं राम प्रकाश, आईआईटी दिल्ली से ही वो साथ में हम लोग पास आउट किए हैं। वो बायो एंजाइम के ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं, बहुत से लोग कर रहे होंगे, ही इज वन ऑफ देम। घर घर में वो कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि लोग बायो एंजाइम बनाएं। बायो एंजाइम से केमिकल्स का छुटकारा हम पा सकते हैं। घर के अंदर हम जितने केमिकल्स यूज करते हैं उनसे हम छुटकारा पा सकते हैं। घर घर में अगर हम ये बायो एंजाइम बनाएं तो घर घर को इसका फायदा मिल सकता है। और इसमें कुछ भी चीज नहीं है, बहुत छोटी सी चीज है, बहुत सस्ती सी चीज है। हम लोग हम जो चिड़ावा में काम करते हैं किसानों के साथ, हमने बायो एंजाइम यूज किया है खेतों में। इनिशियल रिजल्ट्स बहुत अच्छे आए हैं, किसान की फसल अच्छी हो रही है। अभी रिजल्ट जो भी ये फसल निकलेगी करीब मार्च अप्रैल के अंदर, तो एक्चुअल रिजल्ट मालूम चलेगा, लेकिन जो इनिशियल रिजल्ट्स हमको दिख रहे हैं वो बहुत अच्छे हैं। हम किसानों को बायो एंजाइम किस तरीके से उनसे बनवा सकते हैं? आप घर घर में बायो एंजाइम बनाओ, अपने खेतों में बायो एंजाइम को यूज करो, और हर तरीके से वो बन सकते हैं। विदेशों के अंदर तो बायो एंजाइम जो है वो कमर्शियली बनता है, हम लोग कमर्शियली बनाएं तो बहुत अच्छा, नहीं भी कमर्शियली बनाएं, घर घर के अंदर बायो एंजाइम बन सकता है। बट ये टेक्नोलॉजी, कोई ऐसा व्यक्ति हो जो इस टेक्नोलॉजी को जगह जगह पास ऑन करे और लोगों को बताए, तो लोग उसमें आत्मनिर्भर बन सकते हैं। बायो कंपोस्टिंग, घर के अंदर जितना कचरा निकलता है उसको हम कंपोस्टिंग कर सकते हैं। राम प्रकाश, अगेन मैं राम प्रकाश की बात करूंगा। राम प्रकाश ने बायो कंपोस्टिंग घर घर में काम करने के लिए उसने एक तकनीक डेवलप करी। हर घर के कचरे को हम अगर बायो कंपोस्टिंग कर सके, वो अपने घर में गार्डन में काम आ जाएगा, अपने घर में गमलों में काम आ जाएगा, नहीं तो हम उसको बेच भी सकते हैं। उसने कैलकुलेशन किया है, ये बिजनेस जितना हमारा अपार क्या कहते हैं, पहाड़ इकट्ठे हो गए हैं, जो हम लोगों के घर का कचरा निकल के बाहर जाके इकट्ठा हो गया है, जो ये म्यूनिसिपैलिटी ले जाके पहाड़ों में इकट्ठा कर देती है। उसके अंदर इतना किचन वेस्ट है, गीला वेस्ट है, जिससे हम कंपोस्टिंग कर सकते हैं। कंपोस्टिंग भी हो गया, खाद भी बन गई, और हमारे देश का जो है वो कचरा साफ हो गया। वेस्ट टू वेल्थ, वेस्ट टू वेल्थ। और उसने कैलकुलेशन किया है, मैंने उसको कैलकुलेशन को चेक नहीं किया है, दिस बिजनेस कैन बी थाउजेंड्स ऑफ क्रोर्स ऑफ बिजनेस। और जरूरी नहीं है कि एक व्यक्ति उसको करे, ये चीज हम इतना फैला सकते हैं, इतना अपार स्कोप है कि हर व्यक्ति इसको कर सकता है। इसमें से या तो कमा सकता है या अपना पैसा बचा सकता है। ये हमारे छोटे छोटे आदमियों की आत्मनिर्भरता आएगी। एनवायरनमेंट के अंदर हमारा पानी गंदा हो रहा है, हमारी हवा गंदी हो रही है, हमारा पानी भूजल के नीचे चलता चला जा रहा है। हम कैसे उसे बचाएं, कैसे उसे साफ करें, ये टेक्नोलॉजी गांव में अवेलेबल नहीं है, लेकिन गांव का पानी भी दूषित होता चला जा रहा है। ये टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे देश में अवेलेबल है, उसको एक्सप्लॉइट करके, यूज करके केवल अपने को काम में लेना है। प्लास्टिक, प्लास्टिक का रिसाइकलिंग, प्लास्टिक का रिसाइकलिंग, मैंने एक पेपर पढ़े थे रिसर्च के अंदर। रोड्स, जो प्लास्टिक, छोटे छोटे प्लास्टिक काट के उसके फाइबर को रीइंफोर्स करके लोगों ने रोड्स बनाए हैं एक्सपेरिमेंटल, बहुत बढ़िया काम करते हैं, ऐसा मैंने सुना है। इसको अगर डेवलप किया जाए हमारे पूरे देश के अंदर, इमेजिन कर सकते हैं, हजारों लाखों टन ऑफ वेस्ट प्लास्टिक हम उसको रीयूज कर सकते हैं। रोड, गांव के अंदर हम रोड्स बनाना चाहते हैं। आजकल मैं चाहता हूं, जब चढ़ावा वहां मैं देखता हूं, हर गांव के अंदर धीरे 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 अलकतरे के रोड्स बन रहे हैं। अलकतरे के बदले अगर हम ये प्लास्टिक का रीइंफोर्समेंट उनको दे दें, वेस्टेज भी कंज्यूम हो जाएगा, रोड भी बढ़िया बन जाएगा, एंड ए वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग रोड। जो रोड हर बारिश के अंदर खराब हो जाता है, वो रोड हर बारिश के अंदर खराब नहीं होगा। ये हम एक आत्मनिर्भरता इसमें क्रिएट कर सकते हैं। छोटी छोटी टेक्नोलॉजीज खुद यूज कर सकते हैं, खुद उसमें से पैसा कमा सकते हैं और दूसरों को डेवलप करने के लिए दे सकते हैं। इन सारी चीजों में इतना अपार क्या कहते हैं स्कोप है कि कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि वो एक ही व्यक्ति इसको करे। एक व्यक्ति करे और लोगों में ये टेक्नोलॉजी बांटे, और बांट के सारे लोग इसमें बेनिफिट हों। इससे बढ़िया काम हम नहीं कर सकते हैं। जब मैं बांटने की बात करता हूं तो सिंपली ये बात करता हूं, हमको जो भी हम करते हैं, हमको हमारे देश के बारे में सोचना होगा, हमारे देश की बढ़ोतरी के बारे में सोचना होगा। आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूं। मेरे पिताजी, अब तो नहीं है वो, जब बहुत पहले सीमेंट प्लांट हम लोगों ने लगाए थे, उन्होंने लगाए थे, हम लोगों ने तो क्या लगाए थे, उन्होंने लगाए थे, और डालमिया सीमेंट के नाम से है, इंडिया सीमेंट नया प्लांट लगाने वाला था। मेरे फादर ने उनको ऑफर किया, आप अपने इंजीनियर्स हमारे प्लांट में भेज दीजिए ट्रेन करने के लिए। कौन ऐसा करेगा? लेकिन उन्होंने ऐसा किया। उनसे पूछा लोगों ने कि आप ये क्या कर रहे हो, अपने कॉम्पिटिटर को क्रिएट कर रहे हो, आप उनको स्ट्रेंथन कर रहे हो। हमारे पिताजी ने सीधा जवाब दिया, सीमेंट का वास्ट स्कोप होने वाला है हमारे देश में, केवल डालमिया सीमेंट और इंडिया सीमेंट तो क्या, बतेरे सीमेंट प्लांट लगेंगे और उन सब की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी हमारे देश में आगे जाके। तो ये जितने इंजीनियर हम ट्रेन कर सकेंगे उसका फायदा हमारे देश को होगा। ये है शेयरिंग ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, ये है क्रिएटिंग आत्मनिर्भरता। नहीं तो इंडिया सीमेंट को भेजना पड़ता हो अपने इंजीनियर्स को बाहर, जहां से मशीनरी इंपोर्ट हो रही थी, हमारा फॉरेक्स बाहर जाता, हमारे देश का खर्चा बाहर होता, सारा का सारा खर्चा हमारे देश के अंदर रह गया, पैसा भी नहीं लिया, वो एक सेपरेट मैटर है। हम जो भी काम करेंगे, जो भी तरह का बिजनेस करेंगे, एक चीज हमें हमेशा ध्यान में रखनी पड़ेगी, हमारा फोकस हमारा देश होना चाहिए। एक आपको जीडी बिरला जी का एग्जांपल देता हूं। शाम के समय एक बार वो अपने घर में बैठे हुए थे, उनका पोता आया उनके पास। उनके पोते ने उनको एक सूट लेंथ दिखाया, सूट लेंथ दिखा के बोला कि काको जी, वो अपने दादाजी को काको जी बोला करता था, बोले काको जी ये एक सूट लेंथ हम लोगों ने इंपोर्ट करी है और ये इंपोर्टेड सूट लेंथ, एक एक सूट लेंथ 3-3 लाख रुपए की बिकेगी, हम लोगों को बहुत फायदा होगा। उन्होंने पूछा कितनी सूट लेंथ बेच लेगा, बोले जी हजारों में तो आराम से बिक जाएगी। 3 लाख रुपए की सूट लेंथ हजारों में बेच लेंगे। इमेजिन करिए व्हाट काइंड ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स वाज ही टॉकिंग अबाउट। उन्होंने सिंपली बोला, और सोच देखिए जीडी बिरला जी की, वो हमारे पूर्वज हैं, क्या सोच थी उनकी। वो बोले देखो हम तो इन सूट लेंथ को बेच बेच के अच्छा पैसा कमा लेंगे, परंतु इमेजिन करो वो मिडिल क्लास का आदमी जो अपनी लड़की को ब्याने के लिए जाएगा, लड़के वाले बोलेंगे मेरे को वो 3 लाख की सूट लेंथ दो दहेज में, वो मिडिल क्लास का आदमी कहां से देगा? वो अपना खेत बेचेगा, जमीन बेचेगा, घर बेचेगा, अपनी सेविंग्स में से पैसा निकालेगा, बर्बाद हो जाएगा। क्या हमको ये काम करना चाहिए? पहले समाज के ऊपर हमारे एक्शंस का क्या इफेक्ट आएगा, ये है हमारा आत्मनिर्भर भारत। हमारा जो भी एक्शन हो वो समाज के लिए बेनिफिशियल हो, देश के लिए बेनिफिशियल हो। दो तीन एग्जाम्पल छोटे छोटे और बताता हूं बिफोर आई फिनिश। टाटा स्टील में उन्होंने एक स्कीम निकाली थी कि जो व्यक्ति ब्लड अपना डोनेट करेगा वो 1 दिन की छुट्टी करेगा। उसका केवल पर्पस ये था एनकरेजिंग द पीपल टू गो एंड डोनेट द ब्लड, प्लस ब्लड डोनेशन के टाइम पे जो थोड़ी बहुत वीकनेस आती है वो घर जाके अपना रेस्ट कर सकता है। वहां के अफसरों ने बोला कि जी कितने मैन डेज हमारे वेस्ट होते हैं इसके अंदर, अगर हम ये ब्लड डोनेशन तो बहुत होता है देश के अंदर, अगर हम ये बंद कर दें तो हमारे मैन डेज बहुत बच जाएंगे। रतन टाटा का क्या जवाब था? वो बोले ये मैंडेज तो हमारे खर्च हो जाएंगे, बट इमेजिन करो ये खून जिन लोगों को मिलेगा उनके कितने मैंडेज बच जाएंगे, वो भी हमारे देश की संपत्ति है, वो भी हमारा है, हमको वहां भी सोचना चाहिए। ये उन पूर्वजों की सोच थी। आज के बिजनेसमैन को भी इसी तरह से सोचना पड़ेगा। छोटा व्यक्ति जो करेगा उसको भी सोचना पड़ेगा। आईआईटी के जितने स्टूडेंट्स हैं और आईआईटी से जो पास आउट किए हुए लोग हैं जो आज अपना अपना बिजनेस चला रहे हैं, हमको हर बिजनेस में, हर बिजनेस की डिसीजन के अंदर इस तरह की सोच रखनी पड़ेगी, हमारा कोई ऐसा डिसीजन तो नहीं है जो समाज को बुरा इफेक्ट होगा, या ऐसा कोई डिसीजन है जिससे हम समाज का अच्छा कर सकते हैं। एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल और देता हूं, सुमंत मुलगांवकर, सबने नाम सुना होगा, टाटा मोटर्स। 60s की बात है या प्रोबेबली अर्ली 70s की बात है। टाटा ट्रक्स में नॉर्मल गियरबॉक्स हुआ करता था, सिंक्रोनस गियरबॉक्स नहीं हुआ करता था। सबको मालूम है सिंक्रोनस गियरबॉक्स लग जाने से जो भी व्हीकल होता है उसको चलाने के अंदर बहुत आसान हो जाता है, हार्ड नहीं होता है। उस जमाने में टाटा ट्रक का स्टीयरिंग बहुत हार्ड हुआ करता था चलाने के लिए, ड्राइवर को बहुत एफर्ट करना पड़ता था, थक जाता था। सुमंत मुलगांवकर ने कहा कि हमको सिंक्रोनस गियरबॉक्स हमारे ट्रक में लगाना है। लोगों ने कहा, बोले जी सिंक्रोनस गियरबॉक्स महंगा बहुत आता है और आजकल तो प्राइस कंट्रोल है, हम ट्रक का दाम बढ़ा नहीं सकते हैं, तो हमारे इतने लाखों रुपए का नुकसान हो जाएगा। सुमंत मुलगांवकर का सिंपल जवाब था, मेरे कस्टमर मेरे वो ड्राइवर हैं जो ट्रक चलाते हैं, और वो अगर अच्छे से गाड़ी चला पाएंगे, थकेंगे नहीं, तो फ्यूचर में अपने मालिक को वो यही बोलेंगे, बोले जी कौन सी ट्रक खरीदनी है, आप टाटा ट्रक खरीदो। ये सोच कि मेरे ड्राइवर को तकलीफ नहीं होनी चाहिए, ये वही हमारे जो पूर्व लोग हैं वही लोग सोच सकते थे। और वो सोच को आज हमारे देश में हम लोगों को ऐसी सोच को क्रिएट करना है, सब हमारे बिजनेस में। तो जब मैं बात करता हूं आत्मनिर्भर भारत में, छोटी छोटी टेक्नोलॉजीज, छोटे छोटे आदमी, आम आदमी, किसान, विमेन, मैन ऑन द रोड, हम इस तरह की सोच क्रिएट कर सकते हैं। इतने अपने अपने बिजनेस में टेक्नोलॉजीज को वास्टली शेयर कर सकते हैं विदाउट एनी लॉस टू अस, वास्टली शेयर कर सकते हैं, जिसकी वजह से हम इंश्योर कर सकते हैं कि हमारा देश, हमारे देश के नागरिक, हमारे देश के लोग अपने जीवन में आत्मनिर्भर बने। मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, इन सब चीजों की वजह से, इन सब चीजों से हम लोगों को हमारे देश को अपना पार्टनर बनाना होगा। मेरा पार्टनर है तो मैं ये इंश्योर करूंगा कि जो मेरे को प्रॉफिट मिलेगा या जो मेरे लिए अच्छा है वो मेरे देश के लिए भी अच्छा होना चाहिए। अगर मेरे देश के लिए अच्छा है तो वो मेरे लिए भी अच्छा होना चाहिए। हमारे देश को हमको अपना पार्टनर बनाना होगा। क्या लेगेसी हम छोड़ के जाएंगे? कभी ना कभी इस दुनिया से हम छोड़ के जाएंगे। क्या लेगेसी छोड़ के जाएंगे? लोगों को हमें याद करें, ऐसा काम करें, सुगंध फैलाएं, दुर्गंध ना फैलाएं, केवल अपने बारे में ना सोचें, देश के बारे में सोचें, समाज के बारे में सोचें। अगर हम ये सोचेंगे, ये करेंगे, तो हम जो विरासत देंगे अपने अपने फ्यूचर जनरेशंस के लिए, वो विरासत बहुत सुंदर विरासत होगी। नहीं तो हमको जो मिला है उससे खराब विरासत हम अपनी अगली पीढ़ी के लिए छोड़ के जाएंगे। तो दोस्तों, मैं हमेशा जहां बात करता हूं हमेशा ये कहता हूं, भैया ये मेरा देश है, इसकी जिम्मेदारी मेरी है। दूसरों के ऊपर ये जिम्मेदारी ना छोड़ें। सरकार करेगी नहीं, हमको भी करना है। सरकार अपना काम करेगी, हमको अपना काम करना है। ये मेरा देश है, ये मेरी जिम्मेदारी है। जय हिंद दोस्तों।
डालमिया जी, आपको नमन, आपकी सोच को अभिनंदन, हार्दिक आपका धन्यवाद। और आपने बहुत अच्छे हम सभी को सुझाव दिए हैं, जिनसे छोटी छोटी तकनीक से हम अपने आप को आत्मनिर्भर बना सकते हैं। और हमें देश के बारे में हमेशा सोचना चाहिए। बहुत ही सुंदर विचार आपके। आपका फिर से हार्दिक अभिनंदन।
थैंक यू सो मच। थैंक यू।
Now I would like to invite our next panelist, Mr. Yadav Chandana. He also has his BTech from IIT Delhi, 1977 batch. He has his MBA from IIM and 1979 and PGDIT from IIFT 83-84 batch, and he's been nominated as the Chief Economic Advisor to Prime Minister. He's authored several patents and few more are in the pipeline. He has been nominated for National Award for Innovation. He has been the chairman of an innovation-driven SME started with negligible capital, a serial entrepreneur, started a VC-funded organization. He's a visiting professor at IMT and has his own manufacturing setup for the past 20 years. So welcome, Yadav Chandana ji, and please start with your session, sir.
Well, after listening to, thank you very much, and thanks everybody. I feel humbled in the company of such luminaries as Mr. Dalmia and others who have spoken before me. I really don't know what to say. It's been such a wonderful and inspiring speech by Mr. Dalmia. Rarely do you hear such thing from anybody, more so from a person who's been practicing in the field and doing so much for the nation. Hats off to you, and my regards to you, and thanks everybody for putting me alongside him, for sharing some of my views on this topic. Now, first of all, I would like to change the topic. You see, it talks about Atmanirbhar, entrepreneurship, and then innovation. I would rather change the sequence. First is innovate, then you become entrepreneurs, and that makes the nation Atmanirbhar. So that is the correct sequence in my opinion, and it should be very interesting to see how innovation leads to Atmanirbharta. Atmanirbharta is a very broad term, not just about being Atmanirbhar within a particular country, as was clarified later by the Prime Minister after he made this epoch-making statement about making Atmanirbhar Bharat. Dalmia ji has given a very great dimension to this concept, individual Atmanirbhar. Everything Atmanirbharta. That is a very, very laudable concept and the ultimate in Atmanirbharta. I wish this country understands this and takes it up in the true sense. Once we do that, we'll really be a free country and a great country. But at this juncture, there are a lot of problems that we are facing. The country is talking about Atmanirbhar to remove the vulnerability of this country. The nation is vulnerable, not because we want to, not because we want to have wars with others, but the world is such. All over the world is the same thing. There are people who want to have wars. There are people who want to take away people's freedom. There are people who want to take away people's Atmanirbharta and create all kinds of problems in this world. That cannot be avoided. That's part of the nature of the people. It'll happen. So what is required is a different approach, that we become Atmanirbhar, not by just isolating ourselves, but by integrating with the world, where we are all interacting with the world, exchanging with the world in the best possible manner. And then we are Atmanirbhar in that manner. Ricardo came out with the concept of comparative advantage, that while we are producing product X, another country can also produce product X. And we can still have good relations with each other. That's the basic concept of Atmanirbharta, or mutual self-reliance. Now, this is the new definition that has been given to us, that we are not talking about isolation. We are talking about exchanges. And through that, we remain we keep on doing certain activities to the extent that it is efficient for the whole world as such. And that is what it is. If we look at IITs, the fundamental principle of the concept of IITs was Atmanirbharta. We should be self-sufficient, self-dependent in science and technology. But we took the support of outside agencies. British Imperial College had a collaboration with IIT. What is the objective of Atmanirbharta? It is not attack on UK. It is not attack on any other country. Now, in the long run, what's happened? They have become dependent upon the manpower provided by IIT. We have become dependent on them for the technologies and so many developments that they do. So there's a mutual cooperation. So this is one instance of Atmanirbharta that's there. The first and foremost thing as far as IITs is concerned. We have been looking at Atmanirbharta. But Atmanirbharta in what way? Our basic thing is this one. My basic thing is we want to become Atmanirbhar, self-reliant in science and technology, no doubt. But how? How can we become self-reliant? It's through innovation. Innovation is basically change, twisting, modifying. It's not invention. It's not R&D. Three terms are there. R&D leads to innovation, leads to invention. All three are important. All three are important. And we have to see how we can innovate. How can we, as IITians, let's say, talk about and contribute to Atmanirbharta through innovation? There are a lot of things you see in India. Right? Very simple thing. As our needs have gone up, the society has changed. Idli was a homemade product, no doubt about it. But as society changed and mass consumption in restaurants started, we had to innovate the process of making idlis. Idli making machines came up. Chapatis have been made in a particular manner over centuries. You had a ball, you just flattened it, and then roasted it in fire. You made your chapati, litti, bati, as they are known as in Rajasthan and parts of Uttar Pradesh, right? More sophistication came in and we had the rolling pin chakla, and that was another innovation, and we started making the roti on a tawa. With passage of time, again, mass production came in and the concept has changed. Chapati making machines have come up. Chapati making machines have come up. How does it all begin? You see, we keep on, it has always to start with the first step, observation and empathy. Observation and empathy. By and large, we ask certain basic questions. Whenever we see something, we ask, how is it happening? How does it rain? We don't ask, why does it rain? We ask, how does it rain, right? But when things are being done by people and processes, we ask the question, why? Why do we do this process in this manner? There is a reason for that. But then an innovative, creative mind asks another question. Why like this? Why not in some other way? That's the beginning of innovation. Asking a different question which does not exist in the dictionary. Our dictionary of questions lists 7 basic questions. 7 basic questions are there, and what, when, who, why, whom, and when, etc., etc. 7 of them as given by Rudyard Kipling. That is what he says. And quite surprisingly, there are very few questions in this world. The more the questions that you ask, the more the answers you get. And that is the creation of body knowledge of this world. One new question will create at least 20% more knowledge in this world. Take it from me. One new question. And what we have to do is ask the standard questions. That's all. Question, question, question. Unfortunately, our system doesn't allow you to question. You try to do something, ask a question from a professor or in the school, answer, the response is shut up. Right? You ask something, what is the shortest distance between 2 points, straight line? Yes, sir, I know it very well. But then why? If there's an obstruction, how can you go in that straight line? Am I right? That is what a child asks, and he's always asked to shut up. Then when he goes to IIT, they teach space-time is curved. As the same child, he asks, how? Space-time is curved. I've been told it's straight. Light always travels in straight line, but no, it always takes a curved path. How? I was taught this. Now you have to learn this. Says how? Why should I accept this? Shut up. Don't ask this question, otherwise I'll fail you in the exam. Am I right? Answer has to be what has been told to you by the professor. If you don't, well, it's sorry. You're not going to get those kind of marks. And I never got good marks. Let me tell you. Although, yes, I was a kind of a board topper at a certain stage. But subsequently, when I started questioning, it became very difficult for me to answer the question straight. I could not understand any of the things that were being taught. I would question. 40 years ago, I asked a question. I said, I made a proposition. As the income of the universe or the wealth of the world increases, interest rates will become negative. I was asked to shut up. I could not understand. Where was my thinking wrong? But today, 30 years later, I met the same professor and we were teaching at a particular place. Both of us were teaching. Both of us were professors. And he said, Channa, you are just 30 years ahead of the times. So that happens. That happens with curious minds. It happens with innovative minds. Innovation helps just rearrange the same things in a different way. And that's important. Arrangement is a very, very important thing of this. There are 4 ingredients of this universe, only 4. First is knowledge. Second is energy. Third is mass. Can you tell me any other thing? There's none. Nobody talks of a third, anything other than that. And the value comes from the 4th, and that's the arrangement. 4th one is the way all these 3 are integrated. Right? So this is a very, very important thing. How you integrate, how you arrange the existing things. When you do that, a lot of changes take place, disruption can take place. Tandav is just rearrangement of the entire thing. Yama gives death. Shiva doesn't talk about death. He talks about rearrangement. Tandav is rearrangement. Change the entire thing. The relationships, they change. That's Tandav. Right? Innovation has that power. It's a must. You can ideate, you can grow, but then you must disrupt. You must disrupt. That is the thing. And how do you do innovation? I learned it on my own. I had a questioning mind. After my stint at IIT, I learned how to learn. IIT was fine. You just joined the college, fair enough. After school, enjoying life, masti, whatnot, part masti, part seriousness, part going to the library, part playing and everything, but not clarity as to what you wanted to do. I am a continuation of the same, but in a different way. But after 4 years of job, I felt I needed to pick up certain things which I didn't know. So it was a highly focused subject. I just very clearly knew why I wanted to join IIT. I wanted to learn something. And there in that 1 year, what I learned was how to learn on your own. Because I said, after this, I'm not going to have a teacher. Nobody is going to teach me. I have to learn. And I have to learn on my own. So I learned the methodology of learning. So it's a very standardized process, how you learn. And through learning, you can innovate. Through learning, you can do so many things. So I was very fortunate that I got a lot of opportunities to do learning on my own, thinking on my own, and creating things. So the first thing that we have to do is look at things as they are. Why are they happening? And think what else is required by the object that you're looking at. If somebody, you design the application, let's look at Zoom. Zoom is a great invention, right? Zoom is a great invention, and we are using it right now. The question is, can we make it better? The whole world will think, "Arey Baba, what is there? It's such a big application. It's such a big application." But then, how can we do anything better than this? It's already so big. Can I do it? Yes, we can. Let's look at it this way. Zoom is providing a lot of interactivity. Today, we are talking to each other, sitting at remote places. But isn't there something else we can do? Probably. If I asked a question, small question, yes, no. I want opinion of the audience, right? I could ask question. And I added a small button on the screen, Zoom screen. Everybody has the entire this thing, and he presses his opinion, yes, no, or whatever it is. Rating on 5-10 scales or whatever it is. Like button, dislike button, a few more things. Would it not make Zoom a better thing? I could ask questions and seek people's opinion and then proceed just as we do in a classroom. People respond, we are able to see, we get the feedback. Out of 100 people, 60 have said, yes, this is fine. We go ahead or we modify. So there is scope for improvement in everything. We have to see it from the consumer's point of view. What else would a consumer need? Develop it. Develop it. You can have big ideas, you can have small ideas. It doesn't matter. What is required is big actions, energyful actions, full of energy. We have to throw a weight behind actions, maybe small steps, doesn't matter. And we go to the next step, and that is we define that this is what needs to be done. We have defined that I need to do, add 2 more buttons, and to make it a great thing.
Sir, please conclude your final remarks.
Pardon?
Please conclude.
I'll do that. So what I'm saying is that after this, we have to create ideas how it can be done, create prototypes and test them, launch them in the market, become an entrepreneur. Once you've done all these things, you become Atmanirbhar. Plain and simple and elementary. I am an Atmanirbhar person today because I did all these things. Small things, 3 patents, they're good enough for whatever it is. They can be much better, and the whole world can be much better if we keep on doing this, and our country can really take off in a big way if we all keep on doing it. As to how it can be done, how this entire game of innovation, entrepreneurship, and Atmanirbharta can be taken further, well, some other session, some other time. Fine. Thank you very much for having provided me this platform for talking to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Yadav Chandana ji. It was wonderful listening to you, and you put my question in a different perspective, and I definitely agree with the rearrangement: innovate, become entrepreneurs, and then Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you so much. Very, very simple but very clear message that you've given us. So with this, we come to the end of today's session, and I am really, really happy that we had such great panelists and a very, very inspiring session that we had. So I would like to thank our panelists, esteemed panelists, Shailesh Tiwari ji, Raghu Hari Dalmia ji, and Yadav Chandana ji. Also thank our president for giving us this opportunity to bring such esteemed panelists in this event today. And this week we are celebrating our startup events. So this is the week specially. So this was a panel discussion specially for this purpose, which we could not have during our Alumni Fest held in December. And I am also very, very thankful to the organizers. We have the secretary, Jyotsna ji, Mr. Kalpen Shukla, EC member, and Mr. Rakesh Bansal, also EC member and the convener of the Alumni Fest, and also our office staff, the alumni who are listening to us, and also students and others who actually are having a look through Facebook. So once again, thanks everyone, and I'm very sure that we had a very inspiring and engaging session. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It was really nice session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you so much.
everyone. We have another meeting, so we'll close. Thank you so much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Welcome.
Okay.